Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to day 2. Very exciting today. Yesterday was really, really great, if I do say so myself. And very, very exciting. A lot of you were able to make it live yesterday, which is really cool to see you guys and be able to chat with you guys inside the chat. And to also be able to kind of hear from you guys that were able to watch it as a replay. So yesterday was all about mindset, and it was really cool to see what you guys kind of took from yesterday, your biggest takeaways. So seriously, mindset is everything, and so we have to start with mindset. We have to. It is something that literally, if you don't have the right mindset, nothing will work. And this is something that I kind of tell so many people and I preach all the time, is that no matter what you learn from anybody, it does not matter who you are learning from. If it is literally the best of the best of the best, like the biggest people in, the industry, you can be learning from these amazing people. But if you are not in the right mindset, you're not going to be even able to take what they're suggesting and sharing and teaching you and put it to practice, because your mindset just is not there. Has anybody, hey, Elisa, hi, Sabrina. Has anybody experienced going to something like a convention or an expo or a really big event, and you get really, really pumped, right? You get really, really excited. But then you go home and it's like you go back to normal, so to speak, and you don't put into practice anything that you learned. You just kind of get back into your old ways, so on and so forth. And a lot of people can relate to that, because so many of us tend to have a lot of work that we need to do as far as mindset goes. So that's why I always start with mindset, to get that out of the way. Make sure that you get in the right mindset to take in what I'm about to share with you for the rest of this boot camp, because literally what we're about to talk to today, if your mindset is not in the right place, you unfortunately will not be able to take advantage of the things that I'm going to share with you. So I'm going to go ahead and start with announcing who the winner is. So just to reiterate, I think there was a couple people that asked about the workbooks. So just to kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Just repeat that the workbooks are only available for the people who have paid for the $17 upgrade. Today is the last day that hi, Ellen. Today is the last day that upgrade is going to be $17. As of tomorrow, that upgrade is going to go up to $27. So that upgrade is what includes the workbook. So not everybody gets the workbook. If you're joining for free, that is totally fine. You're going to get so much out of this boot camp for free. Trust me when I say that. I had so many people that reached out to me that did it free last time, that it was life-changing for them. You can still have a life-changing experience with the free version. But if you want that added benefit, the added bonus of having the workbooks, so every single day we do workbooks. So today would be day 2's workbook. And they have different resources in those workbooks. There's a quote every single workbook. And then there's also journal prompts that are extremely, extremely helpful. Oh, it's Elena. Hi, Elena. That's hilarious. Your YouTube account from 2014. I love it. So yeah. And so those workbooks are essentially really, really, really going to dig deep on your inner work, which is what we talked about yesterday. And I have curated and kind of produced those workbooks with some crazy, crazy intention. So they're very, very, very powerful. Okay. So there was a couple people asking questions about, where do I get the workbook? You only get access to the workbook if you paid for that upgrade. Now, if you paid for the upgrade, the link to the workbook is inside the private community forum. So that is where you get it, or you can reach out to your mentor and they will give you the link as well. Okay. The other added benefits for upgrading are getting the added accountability with the mentors. You also get you get lifetime access to the replays, and then you also get the eligibility to enter each day's prizes, which I'm about to share. So really quick, I'm just going to share some of the takeaways from the artists that shared in the homework from last night. This is really awesome. And please let me know, did you guys have any takeaways? Like, feel free, type in the chat. I know I just was like, it just got flagged to me that YouTube only allows people who have a YouTube channel to actually comment. I didn't know that, so that's good to know. But I want to share some of these takeaways because I think it's really fun to share what people say and what their experiences have been when we're doing something like this. Where is it? Hold on. What just happened? Sorry. Gotta find it. Oh, weird. That's really weird. I don't know what happened to the things. I thought I took... So I'll just have to go for my computer. That's fine. So some of these takeaways I wanted to share. So Sadir says, confidence and fear of uncertainty are two of the biggest obstacles. Her biggest takeaway was the quote of believe without a fucking doubt. She's faced so far in her, she said confidence and fear of uncertainty are two of her biggest obstacles that she's faced so far in her journey. She started her career almost 6 months ago, and it took her a long time to be okay with making the decision to even take the chance on herself. So that was a really big takeaway for Sadir. Let's see. I want to share some of the other ones. Sarah Blackwood, I took away so many things from today. Really, it was awesome. Thank you. I think what stood out to me most, though, was the concept of letting go of the timeline. So that was something I actually recently came across, was letting go of the timeline. And something that Sarah actually said in the community is that she actually came across this concept from a man by the name of Simon Sinek. I think that's how you say his last name on YouTube. And he said, when will I be successful? I don't know. I can't answer that. I just know it takes more than a day, but less than a decade. So that was really cool. I wanted to share that with you guys. Like, what a cool takeaway. Mia said that she can't believe the difference in where she is now versus where she was at with the first boot camp. She says, I knew I had to come back and reinforce everything. The confidence I have has been transferring to my clients. That's the other thing too. You guys, when we work on our mindset and we work on our energy blocks, trust me when I say it magnifies our energy. And no matter what, when we release blocks, when we do mindset work, it always affects our self-confidence. And that self-confidence is that's what your aura exudes, is that confidence. Of course, if we get really, I don't have enough time in the day to go into some details about energy and energy work, but sometimes there's different debris is what we call it in the energy world in your aura, but that's for a different day. Right now, I want to talk to you guys about you and yourself and your self-confidence. When we do the work for ourselves, when we show up for ourselves, it's kind of like, once again, I always come back to this analogy. When we work out, how many times have you guys seen somebody that has lost a lot of weight? They have an unapologetic amount of confidence, not in an arrogant way most of the time, but in a, oh my God, like, you look so amazing. And it's not even like, it's just they have so much confidence, and that's why they look amazing. Of course, losing weight is amazing, but there's plenty of people that, like, you know, they're not on a fitness journey, but they look amazing. You know what I'm saying? It has to do with our aura. Doing that work for ourselves, whether that does look like, you know, a fitness journey and a weight loss or a weight gain journey, depending on what you're trying to do, or you're doing inner work. It helps support that confidence boost. And like, you walk in a room and people can't help but notice you. It's your aura. So I love that Mia shared that. She actually was a part of the bootcamp last time, and so she's back, like she mentioned. So I wanted to finish what she said here. The rate that I charge is way more appropriate. So she actually last time was having a little bit of a toss-up of like, gosh, do I up my rate? What should that rate be? And she was very hesitant to up her rates. And she took we had the negotiations masterclass for one of the upgrades last time, and she took that. And so now she feels confident in what she charges in her upping, her rate change. And she says, I can actually keep money in my bank account. I have more mindset work to do, and I want to try the hypnotherapy from Joel Tilk. I'd love to get his info when you get the chance, and I'll give that to you too, Mia. Don't worry about that. I will. I have not forgotten about that. So I just wanted to share some of the things too, so you guys can hear what some of these, other takeaways were from other participants, other artists that were a part of this particular bootcamp. So if you guys want to share in the chat, feel free what your guys' takeaways were. I would love to hear from you. Yes, Sabrina, great takeaways. Sadir, I love a good F-bomb, so thank you for letting me know this is a safe space. Oh yeah, girl, this is a safe space. I say a lot. To be honest, I think the only word that I don't really say is probably the C word. That word, I know in the UK is pretty common, and I think it's starting to make its way in the US, but it hasn't quite gotten to me yet. So I don't know. Who knows? We'll see about that one. But yeah, the F word, I say it all the time, unfortunately. Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't even care anymore. Like, it just is me. I've always been like this. And it's so funny. This is exactly what I'm talking about, is the confidence. So to speak about my own self-confidence journey and kind of like stepping into my, self and, my confidence and everything like that. When I first started doing these the courses or the webinars and anything that was related to the What It Takes artistry platform, where I was, educating and motivating, I was like, so yes, yeah, oh my gosh. And I was very like prim and proper. And then I kind of like just started like saying, fuck it. Like when I'm talking to my best friend, I'm like, fuck him, fuck that bitch, fuck her. Like, I don't say it like, I don't hate everybody. I'm not trying to say it. I'm just saying I use the F word a lot. That's my point. I actually don't really say that often, unless there's some like crazy like nonsense that's happening with a particular person. Then absolutely I will say, yeah, fuck that bitch. Okay. But anyways, that's who I am. And so showing up as who I am, it's so much more like, I don't know. I think some of us kind of get scared that when we show ourselves, like our true selves, that people will be not receptive and then be like, oh, she uses the F word a little too much, bye. But it's like, I do. And if it offends you, I respect that. But obviously we are not a good match for each other to be friends or colleagues or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where I am. You're you, and unapologetically is refreshing. Yes, thank you. I definitely am. And it's taken some time, but that's what we're talking about, is confidence. I had to boost my confidence to get to that point. And when I did it, trust me when I say, the people that to be honest, Elisa has really, like, I'm pretty sure Elisa actually went to the premiere of What It Takes. Didn't you, Elisa? Either way, she's been a part of the What It Takes family, I'm going to call it, for pretty much ever since we started. And so she definitely has seen the evolution of what I present. I've always been very open and transparent. That hasn't really changed, but what has changed is my personality actually shows through. And that part of the personality is definitely cussing. So sorry, not sorry. But anyways, moving forward, I'm going to go ahead and announce the first day. Yes, it was at the premiere. The day one winner from last night. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat what those, what the prize is. So they will be getting an Urban Decay All-Nighter Finishing Spray, the Garnier Micellar Water with the Micellar Cleansing Pads, and then the DVD. I feel like, was there something else? And then the DVD, the What It Takes DVD. So the winner from day one is Sarah Blackwood. So congratulations, Sarah. I don't know if she's on with us live, and if she is, she might not be able. She actually told me that she created a channel. So I don't know. She was the one that brought it to my attention that you have to create a YouTube channel for me to see the people, like to comment. So congratulations to Sarah. I will be reaching out to Sarah personally for your address, and we will be shipping that to you. So congratulations, Sarah. Yes, woohoo, Sarah. So I'm going to really quick, I'm going to share with you guys what day two's giveaway is going to be. Okay, so it was the fifth thing that you got is the little earpiece. That's what it was, the Hot Sets earpiece. So really quick, I'm gonna get those out because I'm gonna be talking about this as well. So just to throw this out there, every single day of the boot camp, the daily giveaways, the Garnier micellar water and micellar eco pads, these are going to be part of every single day's giveaway. Garnier was just generous enough to be able to send 5 or 6 of them for our daily prize giveaways. So they're part of our brand sponsors. So shout out to Garnier. So you'll be getting that. And then also for every day's winner, we'll be receiving tubies. And these are essentially the little earpiece. As you guys can see, the little earpiece wiring thing that has there's a bunch of different types of colors that they offer for walkies when you're on set. Right now, with COVID and everything, I'm going to have my own set. Like I will have my own earpiece. And so these are really, really amazing to have your own piece. It looks cool. And it also is just a lot more sanitary to not, use like something that you would turn in every day or, whatever. So every single day we'll be giving away these as well. These are also one of our brand sponsors, Tubies. And so every single day, these prizes will be included in every single day giveaway. So just to put that out there. Now, moving on to the rest of the prize for day 2. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Oh my gosh, you guys, I did that wrong. I am so sorry. I said this wrong. The Urban Decay and the Urban Decay was for yesterday's prize. I'm so sorry, you guys. I meant to say for today's prize, it's the mindset one and the mindset one. So yesterday was all about mindset, right? So today's prize for Sarah, I'm so sorry, you guys. Today's prize for Sarah is in conjunction with yesterday's topic, the whole theme, which is mindset. Okay, so Sarah, this was actually for Olivia last night. So I'm so sorry, you guys. So sorry, I should have put that away so I didn't get distracted. So anyways, for Sarah's prize for day 1, but to day 2, I'm getting myself confused. It's all about mindset and self-care. So Sarah will be receiving what I just shared with you guys, the Garnier and the Tubies little guy here, plus this little facial mask it is called, what is their brand called? I think it's just called Elle. It's a little clay exfoliating mask with this jade mask. Is one of those masks that's like the sheet mask. I love these things so much. And then also a little crystal package. So these crystals are essentially crystals that I've actually personally found over time to be very helpful with attracting prosperity and abundance. So these are really great. It's citrine, cinnabar, and blue kyanite. So Sarah, this is what Sarah will be winning. And then I will be announcing what the prize is for tomorrow. I'm so sorry that I just totally messed that up. Okay, so now that is out of the way, let's go on and start the training session for day 2. So day 2, today is all about marketing, right? So we're going to be talking specifically about self-promotion and social media marketing, okay? So feel free, those of you that can, comment in the comment box, in the chat box, who struggles with self-promotion? Just let me know in the chat. And if you were to rate yourself 1 to 10 with your confidence level, 1 being terrible and 10 being you're solid, who struggles with self-promotion? And on a scale from 1 to 10, what's your confidence as far as self-promotion goes? Let me know in the chat. I think that it's safe to say that pretty much every single one of us struggles with self-promotion. I think that I know from last time, I remember Elena was saying last time that she actually feels pretty confident with self-promotion. There she is. Okay. I knew Elena was in here. See, yeah, Elena, I remember you said 8.5 last time. So Elena is literally like a very rare case. I've never seen, I don't want to say never seen, but it's very rare that I see anybody that says anything over 7, to be honest. I come across a lot of 5s, a lot of 6s, sometimes 4s. So self-promotion tends to be across the board a struggle with our industry specifically. Elena says, I'm special. Yes, you are. You are very special. We're all special. We're all special in our own way. She just has the gift of self-promotion. See, oh yes, and Brittany says 3. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, trust me when I say it is more common that I come across anywhere between like 4, like I would say 3 to 5. That's pretty much what I've seen on average. And trust me when I say that's, like I said, it's very common. So please, aside from people like Elena who are really bomb at like super awesome at doing self-promotion, the majority of artists tend to be in the 3, 4, 5 range, maybe 6. Okay, you are not alone if you're in that range. And I want to tell you that I struggled with self-promotion horribly at the beginning of my career. And it took me until I would say at least in 2015. And even still, like I feel solid with self-promotion with my makeup artistry career, but self-promotion in the business space for my online business with what it takes, I had to start over again because it's a new avenue. It was a new, just a completely new just journey in and of itself. It's a different business model. And so I'm currently going through revamping my self-confidence with my What It Takes business. My freelance business is fine. I've already, had 13 years of experience. So 13 years of experience, there comes some self-confidence with that. But with an online business, my confidence level with self-promoting is actually very, very low. So trust me when I say it is very, very, very normal and common to have below 5. We'll say below 6. Anybody that has 6 or above, you please make sure that you take full advantage of that, okay? I should be seeing you promote yourself like a queen when it comes to self-promotion if your numbers are 6 or higher. Either way, I think that what tends to happen is we get scared. We get scared of looking arrogant. We get scared of looking stupid. We get scared of what people are going to say or how they're going to judge, how the comparison that might happen from these people that are like, at a completely different stage of the game. What happens, which is very, very common in pretty much all industries across the board, is that we always compare ourselves to the people that we look up to, our mentors, aka people that have significantly more experience than us. So for example, I've been doing this for 13 years and I've been consistently busy for the last 10 years of my career. So somebody that's just out of school or has just started within their first 3 to 5 we'll say 3 years of their, career, comparing themselves to me, don't do it. Don't compare yourself to me. I'm further along, so it only makes sense that we are at completely different points. Don't compare yourself to that. Compare yourself to other people that are in the 3-year range. That, you see what I'm saying? Don't compare yourself. You gotta make sure that you're comparing yourself to the people that are in the same pool as you. There's a saying that one of my favorite motivational speakers and female entrepreneurs says, and I think she took it from somebody else like Bob Proctor probably, or I forget the other guy's name. She says, don't compare your chapter 2 or 3 to somebody else's chapter 20. It's not comparing apples to apples. So when you're getting ready to post anything, remember that. A lot of people are like, oh my God, I'm so scared to post because I'm so scared that, I'm scared that my work is going to look so much worse than somebody else. It's like, well, what's going to happen is you are going to say you post it at year 3. When you post something else of the same type of type of makeup 10 years after that, there's gonna be a difference. It's called expansion. It's called experience. And you have to be okay with where you're at, or else you'll never be okay with where you'll be, or with where you're going. So accept where you're at now and know that you are always able to expand on that. You're always going to get better. But the only way that you're going to be able to get better is if you put yourself out there. Okay? Elisa says, so true, and I'm guilty of this. I was going to post something in my stories today and didn't because I got in my head. No, girl, just post it. Just post it. We're at where we're at. Like, it is what it is. Yes, Sabrina says imposter syndrome. And Brittany says, yes, I feel all of this. Sabrina, what I have been telling myself when I start to compare myself, I think that there's only one of me and only I can offer what I can. And that alone is unique on its own. Exactly. We are all so unique in our own right. Nobody is you, right? And the only person that you truly, and I know this sounds so cheesy, that you should be comparing yourself to is yourself. Trust me when I say, if you put yourself out there, if you continue to go out of your comfort zone, starting day 1, day 30, there's already going to be a difference. You're already going to have a significant difference of where you're at compared to 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. When I see some of my work that I did 10 years ago, I'm like, oh, Amber, hey, at least you did it. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff that I am not proud of, but I still put myself out there. It comes with the territory. We have to. And I said this yesterday, we have to. There's a lot of artists that I have seen that have decent work, but they're not the best of the best of the best. I'll just say it, plainly. But they're getting a fuck ton of work. And the reason why they're getting a fuck ton of work with just decent work is because they're putting themselves out there, and they're confident in their own right, because if they know their unique, edge. They're not afraid to put themselves out there. Who cares if this special effects thing has some edges? I'm going to post it anyways. You see what I'm saying? Versus there's some people out there that have immaculate special effects stuff and don't do anything with self-promotion and then wonder why they don't get booked. So that's just to put that out there for you guys. I seriously, like I said, I struggle with this as well. And it definitely comes in ebbs and flows. So don't be too hard on yourself if you have, a period of time where you're like, yes, I'm doing this, I'm doing great. And then you get in a period where you're like, I just don't feel like doing anything. Like, that's okay too. And I said this yesterday, every single level has new challenges and new obstacles. You have to make the decision of what level you want to be on. By the way, we all have that decision. We all have the decision of what level we want to be at. It's just a matter of what we're willing what obstacles are we willing to go through, to jump over, to whatever. Because every single level has new obstacles. And there was somebody that was saying, when you're, making $2,000 a day, you have certain struggles. But when you're making $2,000 a month, and then if you're making $100,000 a month, it's like you might not have the same struggles, but you still have struggles. It might look like the $2,000 struggles are like you might not have enough money for this, that, and the other to pay certain bills or whatever. But then when you get to the $100,000 range, you have an entire team that's under you. You have different problems. People might think of you, like you might lose friends because some people don't really mesh well with people that make a ton of money. People might take advantage of you because, you see, there's different struggles in every different level. Okay, Sabrina, the real question is what makes you the best? I love that. I love that so much. Yeah, that's a really great question to ask yourself. What makes you the best? So we'll be talking about networking as well in a little bit, which I feel very, very strongly like that's my strong suit, networking. I can seriously network like with my eyes closed. And I'm going to share some like networking tips with you guys too. So for all of you guys that said, 3, a 4, 6, my goal by the end of this training, by the end of this session, is for you to add at least 2 points or more to that level, at least 2. Now, Elena, she's at an 8. So maybe, she still has some room to grow. And Elena she's a smart woman. She knows that she's not perfect. We all know none of us are perfect. She understands that she has some room to grow. So she's even going to be coming, like, even though she has like a high number, don't let that intimidate you. She's still going to have something to learn. You know what I'm saying? So, after this session, Elena might be like, oh, now I'm gonna try this because certain things I'm a little intimidated by or hesitant to, but after this session I'm gonna feel great. So there's gonna be something that everybody can get from this, no matter what stage you're at. If you do feel like a 3 or a 4 or an 8 or whatever, okay? So the question that I want you guys to ask yourselves is, what causes you the lack of confidence? So with someone like Elena, who has just a little bit of room, like to grow, like not a little bit room to grow, that is like a higher number. Why aren't you a 10? You know what I'm saying? So there's a tiny bit of lack of confidence there. What is your lack of confidence? But those of you that have a 3 or 4 or 6, I want you to determine, like, where is the lack of confidence specifically? Is it with posting? Is it lack of confidence with consistency? Is it a visibility thing? Is it a judgment thing? We need to make sure that we kind of dig deep on what might be causing the lack of confidence with self-promotion specifically. And I'm talking today primarily about social media. So, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. If you have a YouTube channel, why not YouTube? Okay, so you might be scared of comparing. You might be scared of your lack of experience. You might be intimidated because you are new. Some people, that are a little bit older might have the fear of like, oh my gosh, I'm too old. And I'm scared that people are going to judge me by my age. Some people might feel the fear of, just not being good enough. Right? That's like, I feel like the most common one. It's kind of like comes all the way down to just not feeling good enough. Okay? We have to get comfy with being seen. We have to. If you want a successful career in this industry, I am here to tell you right now, if you're not comfortable being seen, aka posting on Instagram, on Facebook, potentially TikTok, if you're going in that direction, you are not going to be at your full potential of success. You might have, a sense of success, but what I'm saying is you're not actually manifesting your full potential of success. It would be the difference of, you kind of playing small, and you may or may not have certain successes. It might be inconsistent, whatever, versus your full potential, which is, an excessive amount of success, an abundance of money coming, to you, really high rates, working with your absolute dream mentors, things like that. That is what I'm saying when we're talking about your full potential. So I'm going to read the chat really quick. Elena, I just moved to a whole new market. Severe judgment. I have an unhealthy relationship with perfectionism. It's a work in progress. See, that's actually a really common one too, is people tend to struggle with the battle of perfectionism. I can attest to this one, especially being a content creator for online courses. For probably the first 3 years that I was creating courses with What It Takes, I kept pushing things off because I was like, well, but this button looks funny. Oh, but I don't know if I like the wording of this. I'll just wait to promote it later. And it wasn't until recently that I really got more confident with just being like, fuck it. I got to do it. I got to put it out there. And sometimes it's like, you got You got to start before you're ready. This is a quote that Angie Lee always talks about. She says, ready is a lie. We're never going to be ready. Like, perfection doesn't even exist. So like, you know, striving for perfection, like, you know, of course, like it can be a good thing as long as it's healthy perfection, but perfection doesn't actually exist. So it's kind of like waiting for perfection is like waiting for, like, you're never gonna start if you wait for perfection, because it doesn't exist. So Sabrina, I recently joined TikTok to push myself, but for a long time I thought I wasn't cool enough, which is so sad. No, seriously, that's what I'm saying. Like, TikTok, there's a lot of young people on TikTok, and so many of us that are, you know, in our 30s or older, they're like, all of us were like, oh, am I too old for this? Nah, bitch, you're not too old. We're not too old. Like, we're some of us are cool in our own way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a sense of humor that tends to grasp people's attention. Can I dance? Like, to be honest, I come from like a family of dancers, but I'm not, like, I am not that good at dancing. So like, for the longest time I was like, I don't dance. Why would I get on TikTok? So yeah, there's like, we create these lies. We create these weird stories that aren't even true in our head of like why we can't do something. Oh, I love that, Elisa. Gary V says perfection is procrastination. Damn, mic drop. Like, that is so true. It is, because perfectionism does not exist. And I don't mean that to say, to like put anybody down that does struggle with perfectionism. I'm just saying true perfectionism or true perfection doesn't really exist. Some people, like, everybody has a different perspective on what perfect is. You see what I'm saying? So anyways, don't want to go too far off topic with because I could go on a whole tangent talking about Gary Vee and all of his amazing things that he says. But going back on visibility, we have to be visible. We have to start getting comfortable with putting ourselves out there. I'm a part of this Instagram summit, you guys. Just so you guys know, I spend a lot of my time and energy in the Instagram world space and the Instagram space. So I'm a part of there's 3 programs that I'm a part of that are specifically for Instagram marketing. So I could talk about Instagram marketing till I literally go blue in the face. And it's something I'm truly obsessed with. I have put a lot of things into practice. And my favorite thing is that learning from, you know, Instagram experts and gurus is one thing, but being able to take what they say and suggest and put it into perspective for our community and our industry specifically. Not very many people are doing that, because some people that I follow are like absolutely wonderful, but it's like, well, that only would be relevant for coaches or people that have an e-commerce or things like that, which is great. But sometimes it doesn't always translate to our industry, which is very specific. It's, you know, working in production and working with brides and things. The bridal world is a little bit different and a little bit more translates a little bit better, but working in the industry is very specific with production. So anyways, what they all talk about, I'm right now a part of this Instagram summit, and every single one of the speakers is talking about how Instagram literally is probably going to be primarily video within the next 12 months, like almost all videos. So if you guys want to get on the train of Instagram, where you can make a lot of money. And trust me when I say I've made a lot of money from people finding me on Instagram, you know, hiring me for jobs. We have to be visible. You have to be. And not only visible, you have to be comfortable with video, because this is new news. I'm literally sharing this with you guys right now. Because Instagram has new updates all the time, and this particular summit was announcing some of these new updates. What it's looking like is posts, you know, just like standalone posts, like just like pictures they're gonna stay, obviously, but it already is happening where people that do video and reels, like IGTV reels, and then like posting an actual video on your like standalone post, they're already getting prioritized. But it's going to skyrocket in the next 12 months. And the reason why in my opinion, the biggest reason why is because TikTok is Instagram's biggest competitor. And TikTok, we all know, is strictly video. Okay? So, yes, Elena, the algorithm is changing, and that is exactly what this summit that I'm a part of is talking about. So, getting familiar with video is going to be your best friend. Now, it takes time to get comfortable with video. I get it. But please understand, I was just talking about this the other day. Being visible and consistent on Instagram does not always mean posting a photo of your work. It doesn't always mean posting a photo of you. You can do so many different things. Like we see these content creators and we see these Instagram experts talking about how to grow your, following to 10,000 more in 30 days and all these things. And it's like, oh, well, it's so easy for them because they have, I don't know, like for whatever reason, we make up a lie in our head about why we can't show up every day. Oh, somebody just the other day during our Q&A session in the inner circle said, well, what do I do? Like, I can't, I don't have anything else to post on my work. And I don't really know if I should keep posting work on myself. And it's like, it's not an either or thing. There are so many things that you can post. You can post photos of products. You can post photos of before and afters. You can post photos of your favorite makeups that aren't even yours. If you're watching a certain movie, post the movie poster and talk about the movie that you're watching and why you liked it. So being visible does not mean it is you only can post your work and that's it. It doesn't work that way. So I'll talk about some more stuff about Instagram in a second. I'm going off topic, or I'm going out of order here, so I don't want to go completely off my notes. Speaking on the topic of being visible, there is a saying in the marketing world that goes, you have to be seen 7 times before somebody will hand over their credit card. So think about it this way. If you saw a completely new product for the very first time, you didn't know anything about it, you just saw a picture, that was it, and maybe a little bit of a description, are you likely to buy that? Unless it was something you absolutely needed right now, would you? But like maybe you would buy it. But if you saw it a second time, you're like, oh, this is the second time I've seen it. Okay, like whatever, kind of mindless. The third time, the fourth time, and then by the 6th and 7th time, most likely, if you keep seeing it, either you're going to hear more about it or you're going to learn more about it. So the concept of constantly being in front of people to remind people this is something that they might potentially want. And each time that they see it, the interest of purchasing grows and grows and grows. And depending on the person and their specific needs, they might buy on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or 7th time. So, I'll just share with you guys right now, there's plenty of people in the What It Takes community that have taken countless, been a part of countless makeup challenges. And for the longest time, I was like, they're always a part of these challenges. Like they never want to buy any of my courses. Like, do they not like me? No, bitch, that has nothing to do. Like, it just so happens it might be the wrong timing. They might have to have certain things maybe they wanted to buy something from me, but then they forgot. Maybe they wanted to buy something and then they didn't have the money at the time and then they forgot. And there's so many factors of why somebody doesn't buy right then and there. Same concept for people that book us. Now, the biggest thing is when people refer. So referrals and word of mouth are always, always, always going to be king. Always. I get pretty much 95% of my work from people and word of mouth. So just so you know, when we talk about the 7 rule in marketing, if it is verbal, it's more so 3 times. People have to hear about you from another person that they know, like, and trust 3 times. Okay. But if you're building trust, the know, like, and trust concept by yourself through your Instagram, 7 is the number. So people have to see you at least 7 times to be reminded that you are a makeup artist and that you are hireable. Now, just to take a little bit of something for you guys to think about. We just got over a global pandemic. A big percentage of artists during that time decided to throw the towel in and pursue something else. Okay? There was a producer that hired me, gosh, it was like September of last year. And his first thing that he said to me was, "Hey, Amber, I have this thing going on for Red Bull. And I was wondering, are you still doing makeup?" And when he texted that to me, I was like, it's so true. Like that's a question that probably goes through way more people's minds than you think. The question of, oh, I wonder, I've worked with Elisa before. I don't know if she's still doing makeup after all this. Like maybe she's doing makeup. Now, the thing about being visible on Instagram or really any social media platform to present yourself as a makeup artist, you want it to be that you don't even have to have them ask you that question, because you are showing up and saying, these are my makeup tips. Here's something I worked on 5 years ago. I love this, product, and like whatever you want to talk about makeup wise. You have to remind people that you are a makeup artist, that you are in fact still working, and that you are available. Okay? So think about like McDonald's or something. Like, how many fucking billboards do they have? A ton. They know the concept of visibility. They have the biggest billboards. When I say biggest, I'm saying like space-wise. They're everywhere. And then they have the, their actual like arch things, like their little, the arch ends, whatever they're called, the McDonald's arches. So people tend to get McDonald's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think of fast food, a lot of people think of McDonald's, they think of Burger King. When you what do you think of when you think of, a famous basketball player? Chances are you probably think of Michael Jordan. Why? Because he was everywhere. Like literally everywhere. They won, like Michael Jordan, when he was in Chicago Bulls, he won like 7 championships. And he was everywhere. He was in Space Jam. He was in all the commercials. He was everywhere. He did golf. He did baseball. Like we know Michael Jordan because we constantly saw him in the media. So you see what I'm saying with the visibility piece? Now, the thing that goes hand in hand with being visible is the consistency behind it. They have to exist at the same time. You can't be visible, like doing 50 Instagram stories in one day and then go MIA for a month and then wonder why you didn't, end up getting booked. That is not how this works. And the algorithm does not appreciate that as well. The algorithm will award people or reward people that do consistency in a sense of posting 3 times a week, every single week, versus somebody that did an entire 7-day stretch every single day, and then they go MIA for 3 weeks. You see the difference? Even if you were to do once a month or once a week. Once a month, that you kind of lose them, unfortunately. But even if you were to post once a week, the same day, same time, every time, Instagram does see that, and you're not going to get dinged for it. You'll have good engagement rates. Consistency is what they care most about, and showing up and being visible and consistently visible is what will get you work. Okay. So, some just ideas going on, talking about how to market yourself in the social media spaces. Facebook is the biggest one. I think a lot of us are on Facebook. Facebook had some really weird stuff going on the last 6 months, but they seem to have their shit together again, it seems. They've just been doing a lot of updates. With the iOS update, it was a shit show. But it seems like everything is kind of coming back down, and seems to be better. But Facebook groups are extremely powerful. I'm going to put myself out here. I've gotten, I think, 6 job offers from Facebook groups. So, and that's in Denver specifically. So I recently moved here and I've been asked to work on something 6 times now because I was a part of these Facebook groups. So do some research. Go on Facebook, and like Elena, I know you said that you just moved, so you're kind of trying to find your place, you're trying to network, things like that. Go to Facebook and then search for Facebook groups that are specific to Atlanta makeup artists or Atlanta filmmakers or Atlanta freelancers or, whatever, and see what Facebook exists. Like Denver has actually quite a bit. I was really impressed. Denver has a lot. LA has a lot. New York has a lot, especially in the fashion space. So looking into Facebook groups that way and really developing relationships there. Now, that's the one thing that's different about Facebook versus Instagram. Facebook, you want to build friendships and relationships in that social setting. So, commenting on other people's comments or posts, liking them, interacting, and just being present rather than only showing up, and like the only time showing up is like if there's a job or something like that. You're much more likely to get hired when you're actually consistently being seen, interacting. And then also your personal page. There's a little trick that I have for you. The thumbnail on your personal page is actually free marketing space. Okay, you can create your own free thumbnail, or it's like your own free billboard, if you will. So in the thumbnail of your own personal Facebook page, you can create it to look like a business card. So you're going to put your face and then maybe 3 to 5 pieces of your best work, and then your name and your website and maybe your email or something like that. I personally would not put your phone number on there because there's some weirdos on Facebook. So that is something that you can do with your thumbnail. Now, why do that? Here's why. When you're interacting on Facebook groups, when you're typing and you're saying hello and people are interacting with you, you're going to get people that are going to friend request you. And there's also going to be people that do a little bit of a search on you. And we all have done this ourselves. I don't lie. We all have literally stalked somebody on Facebook at some point in our lives, right? So if you're, have you ever been in a Facebook group and somebody that was commenting on a bunch of stuff, seems to be like your soulmate, like they have the same desires as you, the same likes as you, you feel like you're like the same person. You're like, oh my God, we literally sound like the same person. What we tend to do is we tend to click on that person's, linkable page, the name, and it takes us to their Facebook page, and then you check out their Facebook page. So this is a hack that you guys can do to ensure that you will be getting, people that do come to your pages and seeing your information of what you do and how they can get a hold of you to hire you. So that's 2 tips for you as far as Facebook goes. I just realized that I had my mic on this whole time. Can you guys even hear me? Yes, so Brittany says Facebook groups have also been extremely helpful for me. Yes, Sabrina also says, I have to agree, Facebook has really been helpful for me. Yeah, so Sabrina's in Canada. I'm sure that there's a ton of Canadian-based Facebook groups that are designated to makeup or effects or just film in general, especially film, I'm sure. So yeah. Elisa says, yes, I can tell something is up with Instagram. Engagement has been down lately during my optimal times. Oh yeah. Instagram. Yes. So I know this was said a little bit ago, Elisa, about the Instagram. I think they're going through some updates right now as well. I know Facebook just recently finished their update, so they aren't having as much glitches as they were within the past 5 months. So I think they're doing, because Facebook owns Instagram, so I think they're doing the same with Instagram. However, Instagram is in the process of literally prioritizing video, and I'm going to say 95% prioritizing video. So, Elisa, I know you've done a couple videos and reels. You're going to want to do more. So yeah, that's that. And then the second social media platform that we're going to talk about is LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is, I think, one that not very many people talk about. So LinkedIn also is going through like these updates and upgrades, and they're trying really hard because like their engagement and their like the time that people are on their app just like dipped the fuck down when like TikTok came around and Instagram started getting video and stuff like that. So they recently have been doing a lot of updates and upgrades, and they now have like a full-blown threading, like kind of like how Facebook has different, like you can post and repost articles. It's very interesting to see how LinkedIn has evolved. Now, the thing about LinkedIn is the professional one of the social media platforms. Like, you have your resume on there. You want to make sure that you have like a good photo of yourself, that you can utilize it in a very professional way. Whereas Facebook is more personal. Facebook is where you're going to put your ideas, your thoughts, and your opinions, and share, posts and articles of things that you find funny. And LinkedIn kind of has that element. It's starting to have that element a little bit, but LinkedIn will always be the social platform that is strictly for professional use primarily. So the cool thing about LinkedIn is if you want to if you want to work with a specific brand, you can do a little bit of a LinkedIn search and find people that work for that brand and their different titles, and you can reach out to them, connect with them, depending on if you have the premium version or the free version. If you have the premium version, you can immediately message people. If you don't, you have to get their like acceptance first. But for example, there was a fitness company that I really wanted to work with, and so I reached out to them. And the person that was the creative director of this particular fitness brand, she actually went to the university that is in my state. So Ball State University is where she went. And so that's like, an hour? I think it's like an hour away from my hometown. And so I reached out and I built that like connection. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so funny. Like, I'm from Indiana, I have friends that went to Ball State, and, I really love the company that you work for. So if you're ever in need of makeup artists, let me know. Now, I'm going to talk about networking in a second, but please understand there is a time and place where you can make that direct ask. And when I say the direct ask, what I'm saying is the direct ask of, if you need a makeup artist, let me know. If you need an assistant, let me know. With LinkedIn is the only platform that you guys should be doing that on. No other platform should you be saying immediately, the first interaction with somebody, hey, I'm Amber, I'm a makeup artist, here's my information, I would love to assist you someday. LinkedIn is the only social media platform that you should be doing that in. And I will get into this in a second when I start talking about Instagram. But anyways, LinkedIn can be very, very valuable. Like I said, they're trying really, really hard to keep people on their platform too. So they're trying to have all these different, updates and things like that, and added benefits and little bells and whistles that they didn't have before. So you might be able to do something with that. I haven't really done much with the commenting and sharing and anything like that, but I've seen some people have some successes with that. Okay. Lastly, we're going to talk about Instagram, and I saved the best for last because Instagram is my jam. Seriously, we're already at an hour. Yeah, we still got time. Instagram, I seriously can get lost in a full-blown conversation just about Instagram. I have an entire 4-week program, and Instagram is an entire week long. Okay, so Instagram is 100% with the possibility of TikTok maybe starting to kind of get up there with Instagram. But I personally, in my personal opinion, think that Instagram is 100% the best platform all makeup artists should be on, and you should be prioritizing your time on as far as self-promotion and marketing. Okay, so hold on, I'm gonna get a drink really quick. Elena said, so a reel every day. No, you don't have to do a reel every day. That's a reel every day. That is exhausting.
No, you don't have to do a reel every day. If you did, just to like put this out there, if you did one reel a day, you're going to see some major growth. But trust me, just it's a lot. Making reels is really, really exhausting. But you could do it if that's what you want to do, and that's the strategy that you want to do to kind of get more followers and higher engagement, by all means. So the only thing about reels, well, yeah, you could if you wanted to, by all means. Just understand that if you get burnt out, it's understandable. But what you could do though is you could batch create like one day and then post it like each day. I wish I had the stamina to do one reel a day, because just to put this out there, like numbers, so the last 2 weeks of May, I want to say, I don't remember exactly the time. It was a 2-week time period. I did 3 reels a week, I want to say. And we saw 200 new followers, and that was organic. Like I didn't have a social media manager. It was all, I just did it all myself. I kind of did hashtags, but it was just because what Instagram does is when you're consistent in showing reels, they see that and they're like, yes, reels. We need more reels. We need more reels because TikTok has basically what reels are, and we need people to stay on Instagram. So what they do is they take your videos and they put it on the explore page. And then if you've ever noticed, when you watch somebody's video, like reel on the explore page, the next one shows up. And then the next one shows up. It's like the reels that, it's kind of like how TikTok is with their For You page. They just constantly just feed you all of these reels and all of these TikToks. And they see how beneficial it is that people are using reels. So when you consistently use it, Instagram's like, hell yes. Keep coming. We're going to prioritize you. We're going to get you a shit ton of likes. Like, there you go. So that's kind of how that works. And yes, LinkedIn is like a professional Facebook. It really is. So Binky says, I feel like I have the hardest time with Instagram only due to hashtagging. Girl, hashtagging is not even, do not let that stop you. I feel like I never picked the right ones. Girl, hashtagging is nothing. Don't let that stop you. Do not let that stop you. Now, I can help you with some, ideas of hashtags. But trust me when I say the hashtags have nothing to do with your success or your visibility or your engagement. It really doesn't. I have done Instagram posts where I have asked a question and people react and they engage and they get significantly higher engagement rates than something that was a photo and I put the 30, hashtags on it. Hashtags is not even half the battle. So don't let that stop you. There are some people that try to make hashtagging a really big deal, and it's not. But you can get really creative. Like, it depends on what you're trying to hashtag. So you got to get kind of creative with hashtags. So instead of doing hashtag makeup artist, it could be hashtag Atlanta makeup artist, hashtag Denver makeup artist, hashtag LA makeup artist, hashtag LA based makeup artist. So you got to get a little creative. So they're definitely, it's an art for sure. But my best advice to you, Binky, is to look at other people that are in the similar space as you are and see what they're hashtagging. And I don't want to sit here and tell you to copy anybody else. But you can see those hashtags, click on the hashtags and see which ones feel the most relevant for you. And then create those hashtags in a note in your phone and then copy and paste it every time that you post content that is relevant to those hashtags. That's my best piece of advice. The only thing you got to be careful of is when you do the same hashtags more than like 2 or 3 days in a row, Instagram will flag you. And it's happened to me before. So don't use hashtag makeup artist 5 days in a row, because they'll knock you for that. And you might get what's called shadow banned. So you got to be careful. So Elena said, yeah, I changed up my hashtag and also learned that 30 isn't good anymore. Aim for 8 to 15. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so what I was going to tell you guys about Instagram is that, which is exactly what I was going to mention with Binky just said that she she's scared about the hashtags. So that to me says that she's stopping herself from posting on her main feed. You guys, can I say that I haven't posted on my main feed on my personal page for God? I mean, let's see. Ooh, sorry, I always do that. I am so sorry, you guys. Let's see. So my main account, the last time I posted on my main account was May 29th. So trust me when I say, yes, posting consistently on your main feed is important. It's helpful, but it's not what gets you the money. It's not what gets you the job. Like it does in a sense, of course, but the visibility is in Instagram stories. Instagram stories is everything. I show up on Instagram stories nearly every single day. I literally am now booked until September. Am I booked until September because I haven't posted since May 29th? Clearly not posting since May 29th didn't do me a disservice because I'm still getting booked. Why am I still getting booked? It's because I'm being present and visible on my Instagram. I literally just like the person that just booked me for another show in August. He was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see that you're still working. And are you available from this time?" And I was like, "Still working? Like I haven't worked in a month. What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, I just saw you on Instagram." He just saw that I was doing these classes and I was like promoting, this boot camp on my personal Instagram stories. So he saw he saw me on Instagram, the producer that hired me for this job that's getting ready to come up. So Instagram stories is where it's at. Instagram Reels also is where it's at. And to be honest, Instagram Reels, I don't even think you have to do hashtags for it. You can, and it's helpful. But Instagram Reels, I feel like I don't know why I feel like you don't have as much space to type, but I think that's on TikTok. I'm getting them mixed up. But with my Instagram Reels, let's see. I'm just going to I'm literally showing you guys in real time because, you're bringing these up in the comments live with me. Let's see. So let's see. Where's the one? Okay. So the reel that I did, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the reel that I did that has gotten me pretty much the most views. It has almost 25,000 views. I have 5 hashtags, and that's it. So the hashtags are set life, MUA, life of a makeup artist life, and life on set. So, well, yeah, no, Elena, I knew that you can hashtag. I just didn't know if there was a certain amount that you can, I didn't know if there was a limit to how many you could do. Because on TikTok, at least not too long ago, your caption, you only had, I think 160 characters that you could type or something. So it was you were limited to how much you could type. So I was just getting those two confused. Let's see, where's the other one that got? So the second biggest one that I got, there was more than 10. So I would say with Instagram Reels, Instagram Reels is just prioritized no matter what, no matter how many hashtags you use. Obviously, the more relevant the hashtags, the more you are going to get visibility with hashtags, but don't let that be something that stops you. But anyways, posting consistently on your Instagram stories is seriously going to help you with visibility way more than what would on your main feed. And with Instagram stories, there are so many things that you can do. And this is what I was kind of starting to get into, which was we create this content paralysis that sometimes and I don't mean this to be mean because I do this too. Trust me when I say that I do this too. We make it up. It's all made up. The content paralysis that we all have experienced is completely made up. And what I mean by that is we make up well, I don't know what to post. you do know what to post. You're just not giving yourself the space to like sit down and actually write it out and, you know, get those ideas out of your head. You see people posting all the time, which could you know, stimulate ideas for you. And it does not stop, especially with Instagram stories. It does not stop at what you do in the makeup, you know, the makeup space. So something that I really, really talk a lot about on with, you know, my Inner Circle membership and my online courses specific to social media is that there are so many other ways that you can interact with people than just talking about you and your makeup and, you know, your stuff. Something that I think we tend to get in our head about is we tend to make our content, and if we're going to post, when we're going to post, and what we're going to post, we tend to make it about ourselves. Okay, so what portfolio work am I going to show of my work today? What can I post you know, what I'm doing today? I'm not working today, so what can I post? We need to stop making it about ourselves. We have to make it about the person that we're trying, like our target audience, our target market, our target clients. It has to be about them. Something that I just heard today, actually during this Instagram summit, was it kind of turns into an antisocial thing when you do that. Remember, social media platforms are social media platforms for a reason. They're social. So when you're talking to your best friend, you know, I'm sure you guys have come across someone in your life where you're having conversations and it continues to be a one-sided conversation where all they're doing is talking about themselves and that is it. It's not comfortable, right? You kind of are like, oh yeah, and you can never get a word in, right? Don't be that person on Instagram. Be the person that's the friend that's going back and forth and you're asking, what's something that is very true about all of us? We love to be asked questions. Whether it's about ourselves or about something, it usually pertains to something that we like or our opinions or whatever. We like to share those things. It's a social interaction going back and forth. So what does that mean for you in your social media strategy? In your Instagram stories, talking about things like, you know, if you had to choose this book or that book, which one would you choose? Does it have anything to do with the makeup industry? It doesn't have to. But it's making it about the person that you are trying to connect with. So it's different for all of us. Some of us want to connect specifically with brides. Some of us want to connect with specifically producers, photographers, whatever that looks like, other makeup artists. All of those people I just listed are not strictly just makeup artists that want to, you know, see just your work and only your work. They want to know you. They want to get to know you. They want to see your personality and they want to connect with you. And connecting is talking about yourself and then you talk about you see what I'm saying? It's an exchange of talking and sharing your personalities and what you like and your opinions. So what we in the industry, the like marketing industry call know, like, and trust, you have to build that. You want to build people you want to not train, but you want to kind of nurture your audience and your followers to know you, to like you, and to trust you. So how do you do that? You share, you know, things about yourself. So in your Instagram stories, you can share stuff about your dog. Yes, that is about yourself, but you know, somebody else that's a dog lover, that builds a connection. Somebody that is not a makeup artist, but all you're doing is talking about makeup, yeah, they see that you're doing makeup, but that doesn't build a connection of like, you know, personality. They just see, oh, you're a makeup artist. So if you only post about makeup, sometimes that can draw a disconnect with the connection piece. Okay. Likability and trust are the other two things that I talked about. So, you know, likability usually includes having a two-way conversation instead of a one-way conversation, asking people their opinions, you know, utilizing that poll, the poll option that Instagram Stories has, the little button that you can do, a little scroll of like the 0 to 100 or like, you know, like on the scale, how much do you like this? You could do the questions, ask me questions, or you can ask questions to other people. So something that I always like to do on my Instagram stories is ask kind of personal questions. What is something that you struggle with? Type in the question thing below. Or what has been your favorite book? Like, what was a book that changed your life? And people answer. Those are questions that anybody can answer. And when you build those relationships, when they answer that inside direct messages, trust me when I say you will get booked from those people. During the lockdowns, I built very intimate and strong relationships with other makeup artists by doing this. So I was constantly posting on Instagram stories. I was constantly asking questions. And when they would answer inside direct message, I would continue the conversation and I would ask them questions. And then we would talk about things, and we built a relationship and a connection that way. And I didn't even have to ask, hey, if you need a makeup artist, let me know. I never had to ask that because they just gave my name automatically. And the other thing I'm going to talk about, which is your bio of your Instagram, just like some biohacks, which is the title of your Instagram. So when you go into your Instagram account and you go to your settings, to like your profile settings, there's an area that says, it's either, depending on what type of account you have, it either says title or name. So if you were to go to my personal Instagram account, amber.talarico, you would see that mine says Amber and then / men's groomer. That is done with intention, and it has gotten me an excessive amount of jobs specifically for men's grooming. Why? The reason why is because during that time that I was building these relationships by utilizing Instagram stories, every single time they see my name in the direct message, like inbox, that's what they see. They see Amber / men's groomer. So every single time, remember the concept of 7. If they saw that, if they interacted me more than 7 times, it is very likely that they immediately connect me with men's groomer. So anytime that they hear of somebody in need of a men's groomer, I am that person that they think of. So that's another way to utilize Instagram. So that was like my number 1 tip for Instagram is in the bio. Change your title. Right now, if you have your first and your last name in your title, it's not doing you anything. It's doing you a disservice. Now hear me out. This is why. Instagram is now has its own search engine. So think Google, right? If somebody is in need of a makeup artist and they go to Google, they Google makeup artists and then, their local town, city, whatever. And depending on you and your, Google, it's very complicated with SEO. You may or may not come up, but either way, it's called SEO, search engine optimization. Some people pay for Google ads. Some people pay for that search engine optimization. Some people just have really, really keyword rich websites, so on and so forth, so that when you Google makeup artist LA, your name would be at the top. Well, Instagram has done essentially the same thing. So when you search words in that keyword box on the Instagram app, the whatever keyword that you're searching, whether it's a hashtag, a name, whatever, it always populates what is like the biggest one. And that title section of your Instagram bio is the number 1 SEO, search engine optimizing tool on Instagram. So if we were to put like a point system to it, it would be at a 10. It has 10 points versus like your bio that might have 5 points. So whatever keyword you put in that title is going to populate higher than if you were to put your title in your bio, right? Hope that makes sense. So if, for example, I have Amber Men's Groomer, if you were to type in men's groomer, you will see my name populate up at the very top. Like somehow I'm above like Diana Schmidtke, and Diana Schmidtke is like the number 1 men's groomer. But the reason why is because she has men's groomer in her bio instead of her title. Now, if she changes that, like I'm going to be number 2. So what happens is people, when they start typing in search engine, going in the keyword section of Instagram and they use men's groomer, my name populates. Now, I want to put this in perspective for you guys. If you just have your name, your first name and your last name, it is very unlikely that somebody is like, I think, we need a makeup artist. And I just have this gut feeling that Amber Tallarico. That sounds like a cool last name. Amber Tallarico sounds like a cool name. I have a feeling she's a makeup artist. Search that person and see if they've got an Instagram and see if they're a makeup artist. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. So my best advice for you, for all of you guys here with me, is to make sure that title and that name section has your first name and only your first name. You do not need your last name in that. Keep the last name for the bio. Your first name, / whatever you want to do. And then whatever title, choose one title or maybe two, because you don't have very many characters that you can use in this. It's like 50 or something like that. Choose one or two titles of what you want to primarily be booked for. So for me, I want to be primarily booked for men's grooming. Ever since I made this change, I set the intention, like before I made this change, I set the intention for that particular year. I want to be booked for men's grooming. I want to be known as a men's groomer. I love, beauty makeup. I do, but I like natural beauty. Not a big fan of doing glam. So I don't want to get booked for glam. And I love special effects, but I don't want to, because just to like give it a little backstory, for a while I was getting booked for special effects like one after another. And I was like, I love it, but I'm not as passionate about special effects as I am men's grooming. So what I did was I switched that, changed the game for me. I have been booked for primarily men's grooming for about 2 years now. So I wanted to share that with you guys because there's two elements of how that's going to help you. One being the keyword, the search engine optimization that Instagram now has. And then also the second thing, when you are direct messaging and you're building those connections, through interactions and engagements on your Instagram, they're going to see your title constantly. And the more often and more consistently that they're interacting with you, they're going to see that title and they're going to immediately remember you. So some titles can look like, LA makeup artist. It could look like makeup artist and SFX. It could be beauty makeup artist. It could be Atlanta bridal makeup artist. Whatever you want to put in there, it will, trust me, the people that have made this change have reached out to me personally. They're like, yo, it works. It works. So Sabrina asked, are most of you making the videos on TikTok and making them as reels on Instagram? That's a great question. I'm glad that you're asking this, Sabrina. You have to be careful. So when you make an Instagram reel, if it's not like, say for instance, you put a song behind it, if you download Instagram, when you make a reel, you can download the video to your camera phone. If you do that, Instagram started seeing that this was a thing. And so they take out the music. So they're in the process right now of trying to eliminate the double dipping. So TikTok, if you make a TikTok video and then you send it over to Instagram, TikTok does a watermark. And Instagram now has been able to catch when that happens, so they don't prioritize it as organic. So my best piece of advice to you is, if you do want to double dip, I would do it on Instagram, but don't use the music. And there's ways to get around it, kind of, but if you do any sort of editing with music, it's very, very complicated. So, for example, the easiest that you could probably do is to create an Instagram reel. Like, say, for instance, it's like, behind the scenes, and it's like a sweep, you know what I'm saying? It's really simple. And you just put a cool song in the background. You can download that and immediately take it over to TikTok and just use the same background music. But if you're doing something where it's like kind of edited and it's like timed out, like I always do kind of timed out things, it's a bitch. It is a bitch. So what I've done is right now, there's a couple Instagram reels that I've made that I can't put on TikTok because Instagram, when you download it on your phone, it completely takes the music away. It's really weird. And then the other thing too is that if you download TikTok and then you repost it onto your Instagram, there's a glitch in timing. So the mouth is off. So they've definitely done some stuff to make it They don't want you to double dip. So if you can just do one here and then completely do it separate there, it's going to be better for your engagement and they won't know that you double dipped. But they do not want you to double dip. They both see it and they don't want it. So just a little bit on that. Elena, I still refuse to get TikTok because I have no self-control and can't do. Yeah, don't do it, Elena. Don't do it. I have insomnia now because of it. Like, honestly, I'm not even joking about that. I have not really been able to sleep for a month now because I have TikTok. And I don't even post on TikTok. I just consume TikTok. It's kind of bad. Elena, oh, you meant making them on TikTok and then posting on Reels. Misunderstood. Oh yeah, you're good. Yeah. Yeah. So Sabrina says that's the thing I want to do with the music. Yes. So yeah, you can do that. You can make it easier, but like something that I've done quite a bit is like the reenactments where there's like somebody else's audio and I'm going over the audio and it does not translate when you just try to transfer and double dip. You have to do it separately. So that's the only thing. So, and with that being said, the best thing to do is to choose which platform you want to be on more. TikTok, just to be honest, is a lot easier to create content on, which sucks because it's like, it would be so much for before this, you know, when Instagram Reels started to come out and they didn't catch the watermark situation, it was very easy. It was very easy to just pop it on over. Now, something that you can do, Sabrina, that TikTok allows is you can like directly take it from one. But like I said, Instagram 100% always sees that watermark and they're like, you're literally posting from our arch enemies. Like, fuck you. Instead of getting 500 views, we're going to give you 100. And it's true. They do it. They're bitches. So they're just mad. Seriously, TikTok is growing at such a fast pace and Instagram cannot keep up with it. So that's just throwing that out there. Okay. So I talked about Facebook. I talked about LinkedIn. I talked about Instagram. That is pretty much everything I wanted to go over. Lots of little hacks for you guys that you can start with. It's a lot. Don't get me wrong, but very simple, very like effective things that you guys can do with all of those platforms that I talked about. Now, going back to the confidence piece. No, like we have to gain confidence first before we start doing this. Otherwise, you're going to do it for a day, maybe 2, maybe 3, and then you're going to fall right back off. And I think that, you know, obviously we get busy, so that's, you know, something. But if you really want to, you know, step up your game, if you want to start getting booked, you know, months, you know, for weeks and months at a time, then really creating a strategy for yourself. And that can look like doing batch creation. It can look like something that I know Elisa has talked about doing is because just to throw this out there, it was announced today or like sometime this week that Instagram, like there are no automation like apps or platforms that technically Instagram is partnered with, besides one that's called like ManyChat or something like that. And that's more of like a chat thing, which is a whole other ballgame. But so you want to be careful with automated posts. So like, for example, Planoly. For a while, Planoly, you could like do all of your posts and it would automatically post it at the time that you designated the time frame. But I don't even think they allow that anymore. They just give you like Planoly will send like a reminder. So you can batch create, but something that you can also do inside of Instagram that like for whatever reason nobody talks about. Everybody's like Planoly later, Owl, whatever that Owl one, I forget what that Owl one is. There's one that was called Owl something maybe. And there's all of these cool platforms that have like really pretty, outlines and stuff like that, but you can do it on Instagram. So just like a tip, and I know Elisa has done this before. Anytime that you go to post, and this is just strictly for your feed, not for Instagram stories. I don't know if you can do it for Instagram stories. I've never tried, but, and you can do it for Reels. this is what I do for reels. So you create the post, you create the reel, it's all done, it's all ready to go. You create the caption and you put the hashtags, whatever. You can like go to like delete it, but then it asks you to save as a draft. So you can batch create 5 to 10 of those, and then all you have to do when you're going on your Instagram is literally tap, 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 and you're good. Instead of having, for me, if anybody is like Hoot, that's what it is, Elena. Hootsuite, that's what it's called. Their icon is an owl. That is hilarious. Yes, Hootsuite has an owl. So yeah, going back to the drafts, you can save these as a draft. And here's the thing that I don't like about Planoly, Later, Hootsuite, or whatever. I mean, I Canva has it too, and to be honest, I haven't tried Canva, but I kind of want to. The difference between all of those is that you have to go outside of the platform to come back in the platform. Whereas if you create these posts on Instagram as drafts, you're already in the app, and all you have to do is click, 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 and you're done. So it's a little bit easier. I don't know why nobody really talks about it. I think something that might help with something like Planoly is you can see the grid and you can see the flow of your feed. That helps, especially if you are trying to create a certain aesthetic. But if you're not, just do drafts. Yeah, Sabrina, drafts are great. Seriously, they are. They're so much easier. So B asks, are these makeup related reels? Fantastic questions. Yes, some are, but some aren't. Going back to creating connection. Sometimes creating connection is just building, likability, something that's very relatable. I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head about what's relatable. Like, for example, with What It Takes. I primarily do reels that are about working in production. Or just, on set. But because my target audience is makeup artists that are open to things like crystals, meditations, things like that, I could do something about crystals. Now, does that necessarily mean the same for you, Brittany? Not necessarily. But what that could do, like you could do something like there's so many ideas. Like you could do a behind the scenes thing. You could do you at work. You could do a reel about what you do on your off days, what it looks like to be a makeup artist on your off days. You could do something like, I'm a makeup artist, but I also do this. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, like, I love to paint. I haven't painted in a while. I have played drums for over 20 years, so I could probably do a reel about drums. Like I could probably do some, I don't know, if I ever get my drum set back, I could probably post something about being on drums. Now the only thing is you don't want to confuse people. So be very intentional with that. So if I ever did a post about me drumming, showing me doing these drums, has nothing to do with makeup. What I would probably do is in the caption somehow bring it in relation to being a makeup artist. So I would probably put my caption as, I tend to post a lot about my makeup artistry journey, but here's something that I love to do on the side. I've played drums for 24 years and blah, 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 blah. You see what I'm saying? So if you can tie, whatever is not related to makeup, somehow tie it so that it doesn't become confusing to your audience. So like if you want to do something like, a reel on hikes, like if you love to go hiking and you are doing a reel on your favorite places to hike, that is relatable to everybody. So that's good for your reels. But if you don't position it correctly, you might confuse the people that are following you. So you just got to be very strategic with that. Elena says, I do this a bunch. Are you saying that you do the reels a bunch? Sorry, I don't know what, I don't remember what I said at that particular time that you commented that. But yeah, so if any of you guys have any sort of confusion, content paralysis, and what I mean by that is you just don't know what to post, I actually created an entire content arsenal that is specific to makeup artists. And there's over 200 ideas in that content arsenal. So you guys being a part of this boot camp, you guys have the opportunity to get access to that for only $27, and it usually goes for $37. And I'm probably I'm going to be doing some updates to it, but if you already bought it, whether you bought it or you're getting ready to buy it by the end of this week, you will always get access to any and all updates, because there is very time sensitive content in there. So I'll get into that in a second. But you're going to be getting more than 200 ideas is what my point is. So that content arsenal has over 200 content ideas for what you can post on your main feed, what you can post on your Instagram stories, and you can turn those ideas into reels as well. So, and they're specific to our industry, because sometimes I know, when we follow certain Instagram gurus, we're like, yeah, but that doesn't even make sense from what I do in my industry. So I took like 6 months to develop that last year during COVID. And I released it earlier this year. And right now you guys can get it for $27. So if Elena or Sabrina could put that link in the chat, so that they can, if anybody wants to purchase that, you guys can get access to that now. Some of you already got access to it as part of an upgrade. So there was a $17 upgrade, and then some of you bought the $27 offer. Once next week, I start updating the arsenal, that price of $37, because it's actually $37. I sell it for $37. So you're getting $10 off of it for being a part of this bootcamp. It's going to go up. It's going to go up by, I don't know exactly how much. It's probably going to go up to 47, 57, whatever, because it has so much in it. There's even a masterclass in there that goes over how to do this, how it works, the ideas behind it, how to do it. Yeah, Sabrina said I bought it and it's great. Thank you. Yay. I've gotten some really, really great feedback on it. It's my favorite digital product that I've ever created. I put so much love and time and energy. Instagram is my favorite platform, and I feel like I've mastered it. I seriously, and here's the thing, just to throw this out there, I meant to say this a long ass time ago. It does not matter how many followers you have. It does not matter. On my Instagram page, let's see how many I have right now. As of this recording, as of today, 2,891 followers. Okay, I don't even have 3,000 followers. And I have, so let's see, since June of 2020, every single month ever since then, except for 3 weeks, I have been booked solid. And it's because I developed an Instagram strategy, an Instagram marketing strategy, and I know how it works and I know how to work it. I'm not just in Instagram, I'm on it. I love it. I love it so much. My strategy is very important to me, and I'm very, very intentional with it. And because of that, I've directly gotten a lot of work from it. And I want the same for you guys, because I struggle with that too. I still struggle to this day of what do I post? Even though I know exactly what to post. It's just sometimes you have to sit and just think things through. So that content arsenal is, I'm going to go ahead. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and put the link to it really quick. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so if anybody wants to purchase that, I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. This is the direct link. Okay. Wait a second. Sorry, that's the wrong one. Hold on. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to make sure that you guys get this and that it's the correct link, because I think the one that was in there is the wrong link. But yeah, so this content arsenal, there's so many people. It was so cool when I put this out there. There was over 50 people that bought it, and so many people started like showing up on Instagram with all these ideas that I like had put together. And they like, people reached out to me and they were like, Amber, I started getting work. Amber, my engagement skyrocketed. Like, it was really, really cool. And I'm just sharing like what I've learned from other people. And here it is. This is like the exact link. So I'm just sharing what I've learned from these experts in that space of content creation, specifically on Instagram, but completely like tailored it to our industry solely. So a lot of time, I mean, it took 6 months for me to develop it. It was a lot. And there's an ebook that's with it. So definitely make sure you guys take advantage of that. Tomorrow, it will go back up to the $37 price. So take advantage of it. And, I'm here for you guys. I know the struggle that it is of content ideas and creations. So, okay, that is all that I have for you guys for today's training. So really quick, I'm just going to go over the workbook, just a little bit of the workbook. One of the things that I forgot to say is the quote for day 2 is, your commitment shows when inconvenience shows up at your door. This was a quote that hit me so hard when I heard it for the first time, because it's true. Like, when inconvenience shows up, the ones that continue to push through are the ones that shine. And the ones that are like, oh, inconvenience, you're at my door. And then you just close it right in front of their face. So you want to, if you're ever kind of, questioning where you're at, go back and figure out, has there been inconveniences in, my recent past that I have completely turned away? And I turned away from those because it was inconvenient. So I always talk about going out of our comfort zones, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. So in the workbook, there are, let's see how many questions. There's a lot of questions in this one. There's 11 questions that dive deep into where you might be struggling when it comes to self-promotion, where the lack of self-confidence might be stemmed from. So definitely make sure, those of you guys that are upgraded, get your workbook out and fill that out. Make sure you take some time with it, get some tea, maybe get some water. If you like to drink wine, get some wine, that, whatever you want to do. If you're going to do this in the morning, maybe get some coffee. Or if you're like my mom, drink coffee at 10 o'clock at night. I don't know how she does it. And fill this out and be very honest with yourself. So I'm going to go over what day 2's challenge is as well. So day 2's challenge, for those of you, so anybody can, just to throw this out there, anybody can do the challenges, the daily homework challenges. It's just the ones that are in the upgrade that paid for the $17 upgrade. Those ones those artists are the only ones that are eligible for the daily prices. So day 2's homework challenge is, share where you are currently with self-promotion and what you will be doing to up your marketing game, and share that in the community, the private community. Now, if you're not a part of the private community and you didn't do the upgrade, you can still do this challenge. Just post it on Instagram and tag us. So I'll share it one more time. Share where you are currently with self-promotion and what you're going to be doing to up your marketing game after, what you've learned today. So the other thing that is inside this workbook are some resources of people to follow. So these are the Instagram experts that I personally follow, and I'm actually a part of every single one of these. Like, some of them have mentor programs, some of them have courses. And so their information is inside that workbook. So that is essentially who I get a lot of my information from. They are like Jasmine Star is queen when it comes to Instagram, and I'm a part of her program. So, yeah, that is essentially, just some resources for you guys that you could start following them, learn from them. I'm just going to put this out there. All of them that I learned from, it's very general. So everything that I share with you guys with Instagram and promotion and like marketing strategy for makeup artists is specific to us. They kind of, but they like, no matter what, if you follow them, you're going to just fall in love with them. They're amazing. Cool. Elisa says so much great info tonight. Yay. Thank you guys. Yes, cool. So does anybody have any questions? We went like 15 minutes over. I try to stick to about an hour and a half each day. So we're like 15 minutes over. But if anybody has any questions, I am more than happy to answer anything that you guys have. I have a lemon in my water. There's something about lemon water that's just like the best. I love lemon water. I got a facial like a week ago, I want to say. And she told me, she was like, yeah, I think what would help, because I actually have like just like textured skin. And she was like, yeah, I think what would help with that is just, lemon water. And I was like, oh, that sounds so good. It's like spa water. And so I don't know, I got really excited and I kind of like went a little crazy with the lemons. And so I love water, and I've actually grown. I used to hate water. I hated drinking water. Now water is my best friend, thanks to my boyfriend. But something about lemon water, like I'm eager to drink water if there's lemon in it. I don't know why. Oh my God, thank you, Lisa. My skin is glowing. Yes, I'm on a new skin routine now because of my facialist. She's amazing. Her name is Samira, and actually Samira, she signed up for this, so I'm curious to see if she's watched any of this yet. Shout out to Samira. Yes, Brittany, yes, so much exciting info. Can't wait to jump into it all. Yay! Awesome. Yeah, Brittany, I know you're a part of the upgrade, so I can't wait to hear what you share in the homework thread. So awesome, you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Those of you who could make it live, and then also those who are watching the replay. Please feel free to reach out with any questions that you do have. If you do want to upgrade, like I said, tonight is the last night that you can do the upgrade at the $17 price. As of tomorrow, it will be going up to $27. And then same thing for the content arsenal. Right now, the content arsenal, for those of you that want to, maybe you don't want to do the $17 upgrade, you can do the content arsenal separately if you want. It's $27. Come tomorrow, that content arsenal is just going to be its regular price at $37, but you can still have access to it either way. Okay? Awesome. Thank you, Elena. Thank you for being here. Okay, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and I will see you tomorrow for day 3. All right, see you guys.